Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Star Fox 64. Last time, we went through the first world here of the game, Corneria. And in this episode, we're continuing on here on the easy route with Meteo, the asteroid belt.
Impressive, Star Fox. Now watch out for enemies in the asteroid field.
I won't let you down, sir.
Good luck.
Things are starting to heat up.
Quit dinking around, Clip.
We're heading into the asteroid.
So Meteo here is a very interesting level, as this is our first level flying around in space. So because of that, we have a lot of debris we can go ahead and shoot. You want to shoot every single rock that you can see here in sight, because as you see with my score, they definitely add up over time. So you want to shoot every meteor you see along the way, so we can go ahead and get our high score even faster. You want to fly through the rings of rocks around you, and they'll give you a laser upgrade. But coming up here, we got a surprise attack. So for these guys, I'm going to go ahead and use a smart bomb. Just go ahead and use the B button to shoot out a bomb, and it will explode and destroy many different enemies in its path. You can go ahead and either just press the B button once to let the bomb just fly out and hit whatever it collides with, or once you shoot the smart bomb, you can go ahead and press the B button once again, and then you can detonate it yourself. So I highly recommend detonating the bomb yourself to have more control over said smart bomb, making it a lot easier to kill groups with just one bomb. We want to be very careful flying around here with these asteroids. These are very big asteroids, and one wrong move, and we can go ahead and damage our ship.
Whoa! Can you make it?
So here Peppy's going to teach you how to use both the brakes and also the boost. Whenever he says you need to use the brakes, you can get away with using the boost attribute to get through the meteors, so I just recommend using either one that you're comfortable with. I use the boost just because I prefer boosting.
Location confirmed.
This level here also introduces the ability to have Rob call you, and then once you answer, he will send you supplies. So here, for example, he sent me some bombs. And that does help because I want as many smart bombs as I can carry. The more smart bombs, the better, because sometimes bombs are your best way to get more points in a short amount of time. Sometimes the charge shot won't cut it, so smart bombs is the way to go. Here we got a bunch of enemies chasing Peppy, so let's go ahead and take them out. I should mention that in order to get the medal, you need to have all 3 of your pilots alive at the end of a level. So if any one of our 3 pilots has to go in for repairs because their ship is just destroyed, we will not be able to get the medal. So there, I did not want Peppy to get too hurt because I need him around. But your teammates do have other abilities in these levels as well. Falco's more the offensive player, so sometimes he can help take out more enemies for you, making your job a lot easier. Slippy is useful for seeing the health of the bosses at the end of a level, so you definitely want to keep him alive so you know how much health the boss has. And Peppy is your tutorial character, so he'll tell you how to play the game, and if you're not sure of how to do something, Peppy usually chimes in and tells you what to do. For example, he taught us in this level we can do a somersault. So if you pull back on the stick while hitting the boost button, you'll flip in the air doing a somersault, which allows you to not only dodge enemies, but also collect any extra collectibles that are in a vertical path. So somersaults are very useful, and whenever I have a chance to do one, just to avoid some enemies, I usually do that instead of braking, because it usually lines me up better to attack said enemies. So that's a very useful thing to know. So we're getting near the end of the level here, and there's a bunch of stuff here at the end. At this point, when you pass the checkpoint, you should be getting around close to 100 points, but you don't have to worry too much about score here because this last section of the level we're coming up to, it gives you so many opportunities for points. As you see here, just shooting these batches of enemies is giving me a boatload of points all at once. It's really helpful. But you did notice those blue rings that we just avoided. Those are special, and we'll talk about those more in a minute. So you can interact with those, and you can do something very special in the level, but Instead, I'm opting to avoid those rings because we're about ready to come up on the boss fight. So, we'll be taking a look at what those rings do after we kill this boss.
I cannot allow you to go any further.
Enemy shield analyzed.
So this here is the boss of Meteo. And here in particular, we're going to be very careful with this beginning section, because if you shoot the shield, as Peppy says, it absorbs your laser. So the more you shoot the shield, the more this guy will fight you. Because what you're doing is fueling his attack, but you need to go ahead and hit the 4 center points behind the shield, and once you do so, you'll knock it off. Now we're waiting for him to open up his next weak point, which is right in the middle of his ship. But as you can see, he's also shooting a laser at us, so we want to be very careful here and dodge it. But just keep on shooting that center, and you'll destroy his ship.
I'm no match for you. I admit defeat. Are you gonna listen to that monkey?
So right here, he's tricking us, as you can see, but we don't really fall for the trick. Now, for the second part of the fight, you want to choose 2 weak points on the top, and then he's dead.
I can't believe I lost to this scum!
Sorry to jet, but I'm in a hurry.
All aircraft report.
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Everything's A-okay. Ah, you're getting better, Fox.
So the boss here, Meteo, as you've seen, really isn't too bad. You're mainly focusing on the yellow center points on him, and then once you take them all out, then he's dead. So in that second phase in particular, we just have to worry about him shooting out enemies at us and missiles, but as long as you keep on dodging things and focus on those center points, then the boss really isn't that bad. But that was Meteo, and as you've seen there, we got a mission complete, so we're not done with this level just yet. There's something else that we can go ahead and do in Meteo. So let's go ahead and cut back past that checkpoint. So we're here past the checkpoint, and if you guys remember correctly, this portion of the level had blue rings in it. And these blue rings we avoided on our first go through of the level. But this time around, let's go ahead and fly through all of these blue rings. You gotta hit every single one of these blue rings in order for this to work. But you want to go ahead and do this because it's a really helpful path. Welcome to our first warp zone of the game. Time to go into hyperspeed. There we are. This here is our warp path. And there are 2 warps in the game, so this is 1 out of 2. And out of the 2, this is definitely the best one for score. As you've seen, when we pass the checkpoint, we have about 100 or so points. And by the time we get here, our score is going to go up by almost another 100 points. It is ridiculous with how many points that you can rank up in this section alone. For starters, there's a lot of meteors just flying around here. And just like in Meteo itself, you shoot the rocks and you get points. And there's a bunch of enemies too, so shoot all the enemies you see and you'll get even more points. This section is very easy to get the medal in, so I highly recommend that you just take the warp here in Meteo if you want the medal, especially if you're not really the best at the level. This section here gives you more than enough enemies and rocks to shoot for points that you can easily get the score requirement for the medal for Meteo. So yeah, I definitely recommend taking this warp, and you also skip out on the boss fight, because as soon as we're done here, then we move on to our new level, and we get a mission accomplished. Going through this warp zone, it won't lead you to another level here in the easy path, but instead, this will take us to one of the levels on the medium pathway. So it's very important to note that. But that was it. That was the end section, and they give you a lot of collectibles there. They give you rings for health, they give you more smart bombs, they give you laser upgrades, so you don't just get a bunch of points in that final section, but you also get a bunch of upgrades too, so the warp also makes sure that your ship is fully decked out. But that was the warp, and now this sends us from Meteo on the easy path all the way over to Katina in the normal pathway. So we could play this level here if we wanted to, but we're going to stick to the easy path for now. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode on that note. Next time on Let's Play Star Fox 64, we'll continue on here in the easy path with Fortuna. I'll see you guys next time.